Good evening. My name is Isaac Gower, and tonight I will be talking about nuclear energy. So my claim is that the economic benefits of using nuclear energy outweigh the environmental problems it causes. So I'll list the economic advantages of nuclear energy, and then talk about the problems it causes, and then finally talk about why the economic benefits outweigh the problems it causes. So first off, the economic advantages of nuclear power. So first of all, the materials used in nuclear fission are actually reusable. They can be put back into the fission process, so that more electricity can be generated from nuclear power plants with less money spent on mining and processing of raw materials. Generally, reprocessing can recover up to 95% of remaining uranium and plutonium in exhaustion after nuclear fuel has been created. The process reduces long-term radioactivity within the waste. It reduces volume by 90%. So it's able to cut back on the amount and volume of nuclear waste. Nuclear energy also reduces our dependence on foreign petroleum by nearly 300 million barrels a year, which cuts down on trade deficit and lowers fuel prices. That's all from the European Commission on Nuclear Safety. Another benefit is that it fuels economic growth by powering industrial technologies. This is a field concerned with the application of basic engineering principles and technical skills in support of industrial engineering practices. So this could be streamlining a process for creating products, or it could be the implementation of new machines to streamline production. And this is good because these technologies then further the production of goods, which boosts the gross national product of whichever country is using this and improves global competitiveness overall. And as technology advances, government and industry are able to develop advanced nuclear design and review plans. So it's streamlining the process even more. So basically, it's going to become even more efficient, which lowers the cost even more and produces greater energy yields. So this drives down the cost of energy overall. Stu Ion, the executive director of technology at British Nuclear Fuels, stated in a 2004 interview that evolutionary designs are intended to replace existing nuclear plants and to prevent sizable increases in carbon dioxide emissions in the future. The revolutionary designs aim to deliver safe, competitive, and sustainable energy in the long term. All right, now, despite the benefits, though, there are still environmental problems which are caused by nuclear power. First of all, the waste is very hazardous, and it has to be disposed of only through deep burial, usually in areas that are unpopulated or away from water tables, which can be infected by nuclear waste. And if they're not stored correctly, they can lead to mutation in children, harm to wildlife systems, and ecological processes. It's also difficult to find locations to store nuclear waste. Permanent storage underground in the U.S. Has been proposed at Yucca Mountain in Nevada. However, the project has now been effectively canceled, according to the Eureka County, Nevada Nuclear Waste Office. So there are problems with finding places to store this nuclear waste. Radioactive materials do also present harm to people who operate around them. There is minimal harm because systems have become very efficient in ensuring that people are in safe environments when working around radioactive materials. And there are, of course, historical nuclear accidents that have occurred, such as the 1986 Chernobyl meltdown in Ukraine, which actually led to the death of 30 people. So there are still, there's always prevalent danger when working with nuclear waste. However, in spite of this, there are reasons why the economic benefits actually do outweigh these harms. For instance, the Chernobyl meltdown that was a result of poor design of nuclear facilities and improper training of the people who operated the machinery. So as processes for creating nuclear energy become more streamlined and efficient, these types of accidents will become far less likely to occur, and the risk to the environment will be drastically reduced as well. In countries with nuclear power, radioactive waste comprises less than 1% of the total industrial toxic waste. So it's not like, you know, they produce a vast quantity of waste, like, and you know, large enough to be noticed by the public or anything. It is largely far from contact with people. And though deep burial is the main way of disposing of nuclear waste, there are other forms which have been considered. Scientists have been debating the prospect of launching nuclear waste into outer space as a means of permanent disposal. This is beneficial because, of course, it'll never come in contact with people again. There's infinite room. We can just get rid of it all, and the environment won't have to take a hit from nuclear waste. All right. On top of this, nuclear waste nuclear power plants produce far less waste material by volume than fossil fuel does. And since nuclear power uses less polluting processes than do fossil fuels, it can be a way kind of to move towards renewable energy, and that we can create new processes and new machinery which will further, make it easier to transition into a more renewable energy world, I suppose. In closing, I hope that the evidence I've provided will lead you to agree that the economic benefits of nuclear waste outweigh the environmental problems caused by it.
All right, well, you start off with a pretty clear statement of what your proposition is, and you set up a structure. I didn't think that your signposting during the speech was as clear as the structure suggested it was going to be. In fact, when you get to the middle part of the speech, you start going off on all of the problems with nuclear power, and I thought that, this sounds like an informative presentation here. Ultimately, you do little to mitigate those potential risks. You're largely dependent on this one general claim that you have that technology is going to get better and it's going to fix all of these issues. And I think that that part is just underdeveloped. You mentioned some cost issues on that first point, and then of course we got the safety issues that are going on the second point. And we need some illustrations about how technology is fixing these problems or reducing costs in the long run, as opposed to a very speculative couple of pieces of testimony, which I think aren't really convincing, especially when you spend so much time talking about what all the drawbacks are. I know you're trying to give kind of a rebuttal argument on this point, but I think that instead of proving your point about the benefits, you really are strengthening the issue about the risks. The solutions that you talk about, they sound even more speculative. Launching the waste into space, for instance, sounds like a potential solution on that. I'm not sure why. I don't know how we're going to do that, because didn't we just have a speech that says we don't even have the capability to go to space anymore? Man, we're screwed. So that's just a bad situation to be in. All right, we've got a couple more speeches.